Most BCBAs don't have a parent training plan. Not really. What they have is a folder of handouts, a few go-to strategies, and whatever they remember from last session. And it's costing them, not just in time, but in outcomes, documentation, and their credibility as a clinician. If that sounds familiar, keep on watching because in this video, I'm breaking down the real price of pieced together parent training and what to do instead. Pieced together plans don't look broken, they just look busy. A strategy here, a handout there, a note jotted down after a rushed session. It feels like you're keeping up, but in reality, you're constantly playing catch up. Every session starts from scratch. There's no clear flow from one week to the next. You're reteaching instead of building. And the parents, they're overwhelmed. They forget what you covered. They don't know what's expected, and you're not tracking parent skill acquisition because the skills were never actually defined. And that means you can't show progress over time, not to the funder, not to your clinical director, and sometimes not even to yourself. This is the hidden cost of cobbled together parent training. It feels like you're doing enough because you're doing it every week, but you're leaking time, trust, and outcomes every single week. Here's how it happens, and maybe this sounds familiar. You don't have time to build a full system for parent training, so you grab what you can. A few strategies that worked with another family, an old handout that you used to use, and something from a CEU that you've took months ago. You show up to the session and you make it work. You're flexible, you're responsive, but the next week the parent forgot. So you reteach the skill. The week after that, something new came up and the old goal gets dropped. There's no clear progression, just a loop of reacting, reminding, and re-hoping it sticks this time. You're not documenting parent skill growth because you don't have a consistent goal to measure. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you know, this isn't sustainable, but you tell yourself, I'll build something better later. I just don't have time to do it right now. And that later, it keeps getting pushed. Meanwhile, you're spending more and more time just trying to hold it all together. And here's where that approach really starts to hurt us. And that's during the reassessment, because even if you technically included parent training goals at the start of the authorization period, most of your sessions have been spent putting out fires. So when it's time to report on real progress, you're stuck. You dig through notes trying to find the data that doesn't even exist. You try to quantify vague conversations. You wonder how to justify goals you haven't actually taught. And the parents, they may have made gains, but you have no way to show it. This isn't just a documentation problem, it's a missed opportunity because parent training should be the bridge between the clinic progress and real life success. But without structure, without a system, that bridge never gets built. If we had a parent plan that worked like our client progress, everything would change. Think about it. When you write a behavior plan for a client, it includes a goal, a teaching strategy, clear criteria for success, and a system to track progress. Why should parent training be any different? A real parent training plan should do a few critical things. It should help you define the parent's skill goals, not just the child's. It should create continuity from week to week. So each session builds momentum. It should include ways to embed those skills into daily routines, not just practice in session. And it should give you a simple, repeatable way to track and demonstrate progress. That's what most pieced together systems are missing. Not more content, but that continuity. Because even if your strategies are excellent, they won't lead anywhere if they aren't connected. And here's the part that no one tells you. When you put that structure in place, it doesn't just help the parent, it actually helps you. You stop guessing what to teach. You stop scrambling for documentation and you stop carrying the session on your own every single week. Coming up, I'll show you what this kind of structure actually looks like and why it's probably more doable than you think. If you're serious about creating a parent training curriculum that actually builds skills, here's what it takes. I'm going to walk you through the process step by step. You don't need to use my system, but you do need a system. And this is what that looks like. The first step is to define the scope and sequence. What will your curriculum cover and in what order? You'll need to identify key domains such as reinforcement, prompting, generalization, and behavior reduction, and organize them in a logical progression that builds parent capacity over time. Think of this like a teaching hierarchy. Do they need to understand the why before the how? Will you teach skill building before troubleshooting? This becomes your roadmap. Without it, sessions will feel random. And the second step is to develop a parent assessment. Before you can teach anything, you need to assess where the parent is starting. That means identifying what they already understand, what they're already doing that's working, what routines they're comfortable embedding strategies into, and what gaps are keeping them stuck where they are. This tool should guide your goal selection, not just serve as an intake form. It should allow you to measure progress over time to allow for easy reporting to funders. The third step is to translate the assessment results into measurable goals. You'll need to write goals that describe what the parent will do, not what the child will achieve. Here's an example. Instead of a goal like parent will increase involvement, a goal based on assessment results might sound more like parent will embed reinforcement strategies into the toothbrushing routine at least 11 times per week. Each goal should be observable, teachable, and trackable, just like you'd write for a client. And then the fourth step is your opportunity to design your lesson structure. For each goal, you'll need to design a teaching plan. That includes a clear explanation of the concept in parent-friendly language, a modeled example, an opportunity for the parent to practice, generalization suggestions such as where and when they could try it, and data collection or reflection prompts. Think of it like BST for the parent. You're shaping their skills, not just informing them. And then in step 5, you embed practice into real life routines. A lesson isn't enough. You need to help parents find natural anchor points, mealtime, bedtime, transitions, and decide how they'll use the skill in context. You can build this into your lesson by design by asking, where will this fit in their day? What supports will make it easier for them to remember to use the skill? And then for step 6, you need to create a progress monitoring system. If you're not tracking parent skill growth, you're flying blind and you have nothing to report during your assessments. In an effective progress monitoring system will offer a simple method to record what strategy was taught, how the parent responded, what barriers came up, and what the next step will be. This gives you clean, defensible documentation and helps you identify where more support is needed. Next, for step 7, build in a plan for generalization and maintenance. Your curriculum needs to anticipate next steps. Once a parent learns a skill in one routine, how will they apply it elsewhere? Include prompts in your teaching plans for expanding to new routines, fading support, reinforcing consistency over time. Step 8 is to organize the materials into a session flow that you can use across parents. Now that you've built your lessons and strategies, you need a consistent session format. Each session should follow a predictable rhythm that might include time to reflect on the week, review progress, teach or reinforce one skill, plan for generalization, and set the next step. This structure reduces your planning time and increases parent buy-in. Then, during step 9, align your curriculum with insurance requirements. Make sure your goals, progress notes, and outcomes align with expectations of your funders. That includes writing SMART goals, using session documentation that supports medical necessity, and showing how each session connects to the treatment plan. The final step, step 10, is to package and maintain your curriculum. Finally, you'll need to organize everything in a way that is easy to update, access, and deliver to all of your families. That means developing editable versions of your materials, a method for storing and customizing documents per client, a versioning system so your content evolves with research and practice. This is what makes your curriculum sustainable, not just a one-time project. This process is real. It's what I've done, and it's what works. The Achieve Parent Training curriculum wasn't created overnight. It was built over years, tested in session, refined with families, and aligned with documentation and outcomes every step of the way. If you want to build your own system, you can. And now you know how. But if you want a system that's ready to go, I'll show you what Achieve includes and how it can save you dozens of hours and hundreds of decisions. Check out this next video, the BCBA Time Hack, the ultimate ABA parent training shortcut, to see how this shortcut can help you. You became a BCBA because you care about the progress, not just data sheets, real change. And parent training is where that change either takes root or it falls apart. So if you've been showing up to sessions without a plan, reacting instead of teaching, it's not because you don't care. It's because no one gave you a system. Now you have one. Whether you use what we outlined today to build your own curriculum, or you start with one that I've already created, the next step is yours. The Achieve Parent Training curriculum gives you everything I just walked you through, pre-built, customizable, and aligned with your values as a behavior analyst. If you're ready to stop patching things together and start building a system that works, you don't have to do it alone. Click the link below to explore the full Achieve platform or get started with a free session planner. If you want to see how it all comes together inside the session, check out the next video in the series, BCBA Time Hack, the ultimate ABA parent training shortcut. I'll show you exactly what the system looks like. I'll see you there.